Hi guys, I am so excited for this video. I am going to be doing a everyday makeup routine, get ready with me type video. So let's just go ahead and start. I am literally about to burn up. I've been running around like a crazy person. I was outside basically all day tanning, which is why I'm kind of burnt, if y'all can't tell. And it feels like it's 100 degrees in my house right now. I've turned on the air, like I don't know what's going on, but it's like so hot. So I'm sweating, so I apologize. I'm also drinking this peach juice and it's sweating too. Like it's so hot in here, it's ridiculous. But this stuff is literally so good, it's my addiction. I always use just like a regular moisturizer. So I've already moisturized my skin, so I'm gonna skip that step. And then usually like on a day-to-day basis I just wear mascara, but if I'm like trying to do something like a little bit cuter but still natural, that's usually what I try to do if I'm wearing makeup, is I like to like look natural but look a little bit more than just like my day-to-day, which is literally just mascara. So I'm gonna use this Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and I thought this was foundation, but it's not. It's not foundation. Who would have thought? It's actually like a primer or like an underneath your foundation, like a glowy, I don't even know. Like this whole time I thought this was foundation, but I think what it's supposed to do is like just add glowiness to your skin and like maybe make your skin tone look more even. I'm not really sure, but I am using it as, I guess, just that, just like to make my skin look glowy, make my skin look a little bit more even. But honestly I kind of like that it's not like a heavy like cakey foundation, because I hate that feeling. So this is the only thing that I'm gonna wear on my face. Sometimes I wear more, sometimes I wear less. Since I am literally sweating to death right now, I'm not gonna put too much on, considering this is already really glowy. But you can just see how like glowy and like highlighted it makes your skin look. I love this stuff. I think it's worth the hype. If you're looking for like a thick foundation, you're not gonna like it. But if you're just looking for something just like natural and like glowy, how many times can I say glowy? You'll love this stuff. It's really good. I'm in the shade 4 medium, so I really like it. Should I put on a little bit more? I'll put on a little bit more on my cheeks just for fun. And then I'm gonna blend that out. I basically use a beauty blender for like everything, but I really like how this stuff looks, especially for summer, because I don't like looking too mattified. And I also got 2 like pretty new-ish products that I've been using recently that I really like, that I can't wait to show y'all. Okay, that should be good. I will now do my concealer. This is kind of new. I got it recently. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm obsessed with this stuff. I was using the Tarte Shape Tape for the longest time, but I really like the NARS concealer. I'll tell you all my shade in just a sec, but I just put like a little bit underneath my eyes. I feel like this is not too like cakey, which I really like. I also have like some acne scars on both sides, so I'm gonna put a little tiny bit on all of them. Honestly, they really don't bother me, like unless it's like a huge blemish. It really does not bother me that much, so I'm just gonna like keep it pretty light. I'm already pretty like dark right now, like my skin, because I got burnt today, so I don't want to use too much. So I'm gonna tap in with my finger all the blemishes, because sometimes I feel like when I use the beauty blender or like a brush or something, it rubs away, and I want to tap it in so it covers everything, and then I'll go back over it lightly with the beauty blender later. But that's what I like to do for blemishes. I really like this NARS concealer. Let me see what shade I'm in. Light to vanilla. And then for the under eyes, I will go in with the Beauty Blender. And I have like bags, kind of like bags / dark circles for my under eyes, but I still don't like to look too cakey. So this stuff is like it. And then I'll just dab over top of where the blemishes were, make sure they're kind of blended in. And then that's it for concealer. Just make sure everything's super blended. And I feel like at this point my skin still looks like my skin. Like I have a lot of freckles and like even like acne scars and just different things, or just different colors on my skin. I feel like it looks natural to leave them out. That's why I don't like a heavy foundation, because I don't want to look like I'm trying to mask my natural face, you know what I'm saying? So next, I've been really into cream contour lately. So I recently got this Milk Makeup little cream contour stick. This is in the shade Baked. And I really wanted the Rare Beauty one, but they didn't have the shade that I wanted. You know, I wanted the Charlotte Tilbury one, but now I really like the Rare Beauty one, but again, they didn't have my shade. So I got this one, and I've really been liking it. So I just put a little bit right there, a little bit at the top, just where, like, you know, people usually tell you to contour. And then I'll put a little bit at the bottom, and then I'll put a little bit on my eyes, and then I'll just leave the nose for last. I'll go ahead and blend all this stuff in, and then I'll do the nose last. But I've seen people blend this in a lot of different ways. Some people do it with a brush, but I just use my Beauty Blender for literally everything. And I think it blends pretty easily, which is really good, because I was kind of scared of cream contour at first, but I feel like the cream just makes it a lot less scary. So that took me literally no effort, in like 2 seconds, and it's already like blended really nicely. So when I'm blending my cheeks, I'll just kind of work it up like into the hairline and like up my face. And I'll work the forehead down and obviously the cheekbones up so they kind of meet. But yeah, it's literally so easy. I feel like it looks really natural. It gives you like a little bit more something extra. And then for the eyes, I will just blend that in. And I obviously don't do this all the time, but sometimes it's fun just to take your makeup a step further. And then for the nose contour, I like to put, I don't know if y'all can see, I like to put a little bit on the side and a little bit on this side, like 2 lines, and then I'll go underneath right there, the bottom of my nose, and then I'll go right there on the top of my nose to make that little ball that I have on the end of my nose kind of like more prominent. So that's all for the cream contour. So I'll go ahead and blend that in. So that's it for the cream contour. I feel like it looks pretty natural. And now I'll go in with bronzer. So for bronzer, I use the Physicians Formula bronzer. And I like this little Eco Tools little brush. I'm not sure if this is like technically a bronzer brush, but it's just like a random brush. And then the shade in the Physicians Formula bronzer is Sun-Kissed Bronzer, but I don't know if that's the shade. PF 10568. I have no idea like what's technically the shade, but that's what it looks like. And this is what the front looks like. But I love this stuff. I used to use the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and honestly this stuff is like just as good, if not better. It doesn't look very like dirty. Now sometimes bronzer can make your face look dirty, but I just go right on top of where I use the contour stick and just warm it up a little bit more, basically in the exact same spots, and just try to make that jaw look snatched. Okay, so that's it for the bronzer for the face. And then I'm gonna use some on my eyelids. So literally any random brush will do. I'm using this Tarte random eyeshadow brush. It's really fluffy. And I'm gonna go in with the butter bronzer, tap off the excess, and just put this in like my crease and on my lid, and just in like a wiper motion. And I think it looks really good. I love bronzer for eyeshadow. I also have another eyeshadow palette that's literally my favorite, but just for like a day-to-day, I typically will use bronzer. Bam! Okay, and then I will take a little bit more of a precise brush, like it really doesn't matter though, and then I'll go with the bronzer, and I'll go right underneath my waterline, or like my lash line, and warm up the bottom of the lash line just a little bit. I think it looks pretty good. This is the, where is it? Where is it? Oh my gosh, wasn't I just holding that? Oh, here it is. This is the Too Faced Natural Matte palette, the eyeshadow palette, and it's literally so good. I love it because it's not shimmery. There are a lot of really natural colors. I'm gonna take my finger and go in with like a really light color and put it right there on my lid, just a little bit, just to make my eye look more open. I was probably covering the thing right then, so I'm sorry, but I just put it right there, just like a lighter color, just to make my eye look more open. And I'm probably not going to use this today, but actually, you know what? I'll show you what I do sometimes to spice it up even a little bit more. I will take, typically I'll leave it like this for the eyes, but sometimes I'll go a little bit crazy and I'll use the Risky Biz, which is like a dark purple, or sometimes I'll use like a dark brown or something on a flat angled brush, and I will really lightly kind of put it smudged out onto my lash line. And I can build it up super dark, or I can just leave it pretty light and natural. Today I'm just gonna leave it pretty light, and sometimes I'll like flick it out at the end and make a little mini wing just like that. But you know, not all the time. It just depends on the vibes and like where I'm going, what I'm doing. But I do like to do this on the lash line just to make them look super thick and pretty. And then I'll just do like a really light flick for a wing. And so that's what that looks like. Super natural. Like it really doesn't look like eyeliner-y, but it looks like a little something. Okay, next I'm gonna put a little bit of powder on. I use the Charlotte Tilbury powder. It looks like this, and it's in the shade 2 Medium. And I'm just gonna go in with a flat brush, any brush, it really does not matter. But I'm just gonna put a little bit on this brush, and I'm going to powder right underneath my eyes, because that Flawless Filter stuff is very glowy. So I don't wanna matte my entire face, but in the spots that I'm oily, I will mattify. So I'll typically do like right underneath my eyes, and then I'll do like my forehead. And then sometimes I'll do like right here too, because I get kind of oily right there. But everywhere else, I keep pretty light and glowy. For blush, I love this stuff. This is the Rare Beauty blush. This is my favorite blush literally ever. It's in the shade Joy. If I could repurchase this blush, I would probably get the shade Happy, but I still love this color. Like, it is so pretty. It's very peachy almost, and I think this is really pretty for summer. I think the color Happy is like a little bit more pinky, whereas this is more like orangey undertones, but I still really like it for summer. I have a really light hand with this blush because it is crazy. Like, the pigment is on a different level, so I can build it up, but for now I'm a little scared, so I'm just gonna use this much. And I'm just going back in with the Beauty Blender. But I like to keep this pretty high up on my cheekbones, and then I'll bring it back down a little bit if I feel like I need a little bit more or whatever. But this adds a really pretty pink hue to my cheeks that I like. Honestly, Rare Beauty just, it really snapped. I'm a Selena stan anyway, so the fact that her makeup line is actually like amazing, like genuinely, this is probably, oh, I'm scared. I probably just added a little bit too much, but it's okay. But the fact that like her makeup line is genuinely like probably one of my favorite makeup lines out there. And I haven't been able to try everything just because a lot of it's always sold out, or they don't have like my shades because the certain shades are sold out or whatever. It's genuinely like my favorite makeup line because I feel like everything's really usable, everything's really buildable. It works for literally every type of skin. This is just a random spoolie, has nothing on it, but I feel like a lot of people's makeup these days, people have been using cream-based products rather than just like powder-based products, which is one reason why I love the Rare Beauty. So I just brushed my eyebrows up. I don't do anything other than that with my eyebrows. This is the next step. It's the Wet n Wild multi-stick, and it's in the shade, I don't know if there's a shade, but it's just like the white one. And this is like a little highlighter that I've been using, and I feel like this has been taking my makeup to a whole other level. I use this in a couple different places. I don't have a mirror right here, so I'm kind of nervous, but I've been using this in my waterline. Not as like a white eyeliner, but kind of. And I feel like it makes you look so glowy, like a little Tinkerbell. I like this better than a white eyeliner because it looks a little bit crazy right now, but it'll kind of wear down to like a glowy type thing rather than just white. I feel like white eyeliner just looks very harsh. This does not look as harsh, especially when I put mascara on. Right now it probably does, but I'm gonna put a little bit underneath my eyebrow, and I'm gonna pat it in with my finger. And it gives a really pretty sheen. Like, how pretty. This was literally like $2 from the drugstore. I also put it on my inner corner, and this is really what takes like my whole look, I think, to a whole other level. Bam, like how pretty. And then I'll put it right there. Same thing on the other side. Okay, my memory card is telling me that I have like barely any space left, so I've got to speed this up. But I will try to just pat it in with my finger, and then I'll do the same thing underneath this brow and pat it in with my finger. And then I will put a little tiny bit on the tip of my nose for a little highlight. And then I will bring it right there too for a little nose highlight. And I feel like it looks really natural. Put a little bit here. And it just looks really like glowy and cute. And where's the lid? For mascara, I used the L'Oreal Voluminous in Carbon Black. Or not Carbon Black, it really does not matter. I'm gonna do my lashes off camera, but basically I put as much mascara as I possibly can get away with on my eyelashes, top and bottom. And I try to just like separate them so they don't look clumpy, but I do like big lashes that are really thick and long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for like the next 5 minutes, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so this is what it is looking like so far. I also wanted to say that this thing right here is like literally a holy grail, but if you can't find the Wet n Wild brand, the NYX or NYX brand has something basically the exact same. I wonder if I could put it here. I'm kind of scared. Maybe I could put it like on my finger. I haven't ever tried doing that. Lucky kind of worked though. But one highlighter that I really want to try is the, did I already say this? I can't remember, but the Rare Beauty liquid illuminator highlighter. I really want to try that. Okay, for lips before my camera shuts me out, I use the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude. Of course, it has not been sharpened, so I'm just gonna do my best with a pencil that literally is not sharpened, but okay, yeah, this is gonna give me a splinter. But I basically just put it, oh my gosh, this is gonna give me a splinter. I need to sharpen this. I'll just put it underneath here, and then I will put it on the top, just like really lightly. I don't use too much because I don't want it to look too dark, especially because the rest of my makeup looks really light. But basically just enough to give my lips something, you know. Sometimes I use a little bit more than that, but obviously I'm not trying to get a splinter. And then for a gloss, I use the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. And I like this as a gloss because it's not sticky, it's hydrating, and it's basically like a chapstick with a gloss. But that's pretty much it. That's all I do. Okay, this is the completed look. I feel like it looks really natural, really summery, really glowy, and I feel like you can still see my skin through the makeup. Like, it's not very cakey and heavy, it's just really natural. And I just love it. I feel like I've perfected like my go-to makeup routine. I love all these products. I stand by them. Like, literally each and every one of them are like, I couldn't live without them. So let me know if y'all try out this makeup routine. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next video. And I love you guys. Bye.